Hi, guys. It's Nadine with Keep Hope Alive podcast. I have Sally Ann Martinez here with us, and I brought her back because she was wonderful. And, we're just going to go unscripted here, right? This is the first bring back podcast that we had such a great interview before. So, I'm gonna give the ball to her, and she can interview me too if she wants. So, hey. Well, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Nadine. Same here. Welcome back. No, I don't
I
know. From the last one.
How's it been since the last time? New
Uh,
business coming through?
yeah, lots of good things are happening. Lots of good things have happened, more to come. And I think that's why we're here to talk about some of those things that feel so insurmountable that you can. I want to make sure people know that they can do it, like you're going to keep your own hope alive for a while and
Yep.
you're gonna you can do it, like, really. Manifest what you want, or even if we don't want to talk in woo woo words, like, just say this is what I want and it will happen. So I'm living proof multiple times, but specifically for this conversation with you.
Oh, wow. I'm losing my voice, guys. I'm like, oh, wow. That means so much to me. I love it. I love it. I love it. But you are right. In many ways, manifest it, it will come. You could say that in the same as relationships too, I have to close my eyes. I hear Nadine, you got to take care of yourself. And I was like, well, I'm ready to try to date again. And I've been trying, but I call it scored out like 3 or 4 times now, and I'm not trying to let it beat me down, but there's a part of me is like, I absolutely give up now. But you know what happened? This
Mm,
is a
tell me.
fun little secret. All those bad things that were happening has led me to a new group because there's groups that will go on in Facebook for relationships, but it's so funny as a relationship coach, I'll have people bring in, "Hey, look at this comment. What do you think of it?" And
Uh,
I'm just like, I don't know. I was like, I don't want to weigh it. I'm not going to be a life coach here. I'm not going to jump on to every post. But something got me to thinking I wanted to do this for a long time. But I'm going to bring dating group for the North Texas area and do it a little bit differently. And it's going to be called Perfectly Paired.
how
But
fun.
yes, it's gonna be a little bit of coaching, like 5 to 10 minutes, in networking events. My goodness. Hi, my name is Nadine. I'm a photographer for over 25 years. I've been going through the Dallas Fort Worth, working on weddings, children, family photography. I do shoot product and da 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 da. My website is this, and my phone number is that. And you can find me on social media here, but if you ever need a good photographer, come find me. That was my pitch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why can we not do that? Okay. Instead of the sit down speed dating, oh, you got like 3 minutes. Hi, I'm, and that's all you get to find out about me. But I want everybody to hear those pitches. So we're going to sit as a group. Hi, I'm Nadine. I'm a single mom. I grew up in New Jersey. They call me Jersey girl. I'm an Eagles fan. I know boo me later, blah, blah, blah,
Mhm.
and I'm looking for a long-term relationship and I I have 2 kids. I'm a grandma now, blah, 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 blah. And this is what I want. I want a man who could throw a football, Okay. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
write down that name, and if the dude or women can do it, oh, I might have interest. Now it's gonna go into the bachelorette girl, okay? So you get 5 minutes. "Hey, I liked your pitch. Can I talk to you?" 5 minutes. If somebody else comes up to the girl and the guy, "Hey, I wanna be next. I want some time to talk to you." Now, the thing is, hoping with those date pitches, it's gonna turn into a date that weekend. Okay. But here's the thing, I'm going to make a Monday night because if you're serious on finding love and Monday night football's on, hmm, let's
But
see which one
maybe
weighs more.
you have a Monday night football date.
I know it could definitely be a football date.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, good for you. Well, I'm have my fingers crossed, but I know the universe will bring you what you need. So,
Yeah. So, but for you, new changes for you, I want to hear them all.
yeah. So I actually there's a couple of people I've always wanted to align with. I've respected, I've seen around, and I've always wanted to write books. Like that's really since I was young, I always wanted to write books. I always think that that's just a great way to communicate with people because it's written. You get to take what you're going through at that moment and read those words and see what it feels like to you. And so both of these wonderful things presented themselves about a year ago. And I worked with Jim Britt, who wrote a book or published a book. I'm a co-author in Cracking the Rich Code, and it's endorsed by Tony Robbins.
Nice.
Yeah, Jim's like really good friends with Tony, gave him his first job, um, was able to like have this wonderful conversation. So I wound up talking to Jim for like, I don't know, 2.5 hours. And at the end of the day, and he's like 25 years older than me. At the end of the day, I was like, we need to be best friends. Like our lives just kept intersecting. It was so amazing, right? That um just his story and my story. So
Yeah.
really resonated beautifully. And he was putting together this book. And so it launched a couple weeks ago and went number 1 in the US and Canada. So super exciting to be part of that. So it was just like, I guess manifestation just sometimes takes some time. So Cracking the Rich Code, chapter 4, volume 14, is actually, I thought, how am I going to maybe start for myself, right? Because if you ever listen to Liz Gilbert, like I love her book Big Magic, and it really talks about like living this creative lifestyle. And as a photographer, or an artist or a book writer or someone who's starting their own business, I always think it's good to look at different points of view. And so I was listening to Big Magic again and I was laughing because she's just like, just commit, just do it, just write every day, even if you don't want to, just like start a new perspective on things, which I am huge in this sliding scale of perspective and priority. Like I think it has the ability to change everything. Like your perspective on something can change everything. It can make you happy, it can make you sad, hopefully more happy and grateful. And so I said, what am I going to do for Jim's book? And sat back and said, I'm going to write a letter to myself from 10 years ago. So 10 years ago is when I left the corporate world. I retired from the corporate world and just decided to do my heart work. I call all my clairvoyance and my energy healing that I've been doing for 40 years, but I call it artwork. And so that's what I did. I sat down and kind of took an inventory of my life and said, who am I? Right. So don't you love, especially look on dating apps and stuff, when people say, who are you? And people say, like in my case, I'd say like, oh, in the olden days, I'd say, oh, I'm a corporate marketer. Right. That's not who I am. That's what I
Yeah.
do. Right. So
Yeah.
I started taking an inventory about who I was, what I have accomplished, and then it kind of like tells the story of almost 10 years ago when, I say God kicked my butt and he said I was tired of waiting for me and to start going on my path and doing what I do now, which is, I'm an angel communicator. I help people get on their path. And I'm lucky to do it. I'm a gratitude expert and a guest speaker. and I had always wanted to be a number one bestseller. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to take an inventory. So I wrote this letter to myself as if I was starting 8 years ago. And I said, look, this is what's going to happen. This is why it's good for it to happen. And this is what the goal will ultimately be. And it was very healing. It was really amazing to do that and to look back. And so I was really grateful I did that. And then what it led to is really what the next book is going to be, which hopefully will be out in November and December, editors and all that kind of stuff, or editing, because you read your same work. It's again part of being like that creative process. It's
Yes.
never perfect, right? You're like, it's not perfect. um but yeah, the next book is called The Empowerment Approach, and it is what has been coming to me. I say they're little angel whispers. That's this 5 techniques that keep coming forward. So this way, then people can help themselves, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. So yeah, it's this little story of these 5 wonderful techniques that you can learn for yourself. So it's interesting getting it all down, because when you just do it, how to do it, but all of a sudden now you have to be really cognizant of every single step so you can tell somebody how to do it and not leave anything out, right? So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So yeah, so that's super exciting. So the empowerment approach will come out, and hopefully it'll help a lot of people get some answers that they can help themselves. And Nadine, I am totally open. I want to help as many people as possible. Come, please call me. Let's get together. You know, 90% of my business is online and international. It doesn't have to be in person. Um, but you can't reach 10 million people all by myself. But if I can reach 10 million people,
See,
to help them help themselves with some words from source, God, universe, whatever your term is, to look at yourself differently or look at the situation differently, I'm like, kapow, that's a plus, right? That's in the plus category, like hitting a home run. So yeah.
that is so cool. Yeah, some days I'm like, I just wish I could clone myself a couple times, because I have the emails, I have the Facebook Messenger emails coming in. I have social media, TikTok and Instagram, which I kind of like, I don't really need to read those emails. But when I'm working now full time, I'm like, okay, I get a break. If there's something urgent that I can answer, then I can do it that way. But I've gotten to a point where I used to, have an email and it was apply. You're writing something, but now I think I'm going to just reply with my voice. Hey, thank you, because it goes so much faster. This is what you need to do, da 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 da, and then I can get it done. So, it's just how to get it done faster and do these things. I have little goals for me, I noticed, and I sit back and go, "But really, Nadine, what are you doing? Are you gonna take a weekend out to do a course and get certified on this too?" Like, but it's on my bucket list.
Right.
And then I started really thinking, as with going on to this networking thing, the dating, perfectly paired, I want to write a book because, when you're getting married, you're going to a church. Oh, you need to come to our class before I say I do class and workbook. Well, where's the book? It says before I say I'll go on a date with you.
Mm,
I
right.
mean, I've started to go through this journey. Do I want to talk to somebody for 1 week and then meet them? Or do I like the fact that I can talk to them for a month and meet them? And I already know the answer because I tried both, and it's the month. I
Mhm.
liked it because I felt like already knew them. I knew what I was walking into, and it made me feel more secure. But it's like whenever book writers, you're kind of testing the waters out too. And you want to make sure that what you're writing is good and perfect. But with so many different personalities out there and learning people, it's fun. Sometimes I'll just go to the karaoke, sitting there at the bar, and I can hear all of these stories about relationships, love, divorce, running away. And I'm like, this is my comedy hour. Like, I'm eavesdropping on these stories, and it's funny because it builds these new topics, what is the world really facing? I mean, I think we live in the world now that we're working so much. As somebody was like, don't you use one of your weekdays to get caught up on laundry and food shopping? And I'm like, yeah. And then I go and I do podcasts. And then I may wanna do one thing for me, but it's weird because it's all about time management. And I was like, I know I need my hair done, but that takes like 2 hours. Where am I gonna find 2 hours? And it was just the craziest thing, girl. I was like, I'm seeing how people will manage the time. I was at my niece's birthday and I walked away to sit on the comfy couch and there was just another mother with her laptop. She goes, my kid plays out there for 6 hours and you would be amazed how much work I get done. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I believe it." Like, I could have so much done if I had my laptop too.
Mhm.
But, it's just those weird ways of finding how to be with your kid too and try to be out there in the world and try it like karaoke. I love singing, so I have to balance so much.
It's so funny because I totally agree. And I call that like a sliding scale of priority, right? So
Mhm.
you've brought your child to practice. And yes, of course, you're going to interact a little bit because you want to make sure that they know that you're being present, right?
Yeah.
But then to, like I say, I don't know what I would do without my phone because it's a little computer. So my emails are on there and my scheduling is on there. And even if every 15 minutes I spend 10 minutes watching my kids, right? Because I want to
Yeah.
be those 15 minutes, I can get a ton done where forcing myself to go into the office to sit down doesn't always happen. And so that's what I call this the sliding scale of priority. So for the priority is to be there for my kids. So I'm going to go and I'm going to drop them off and then I'm going to sit with them because I want them to know that
Yeah.
I'm present. And then for 15 minutes, that scale probably changes a little. It's more about work than it is about mommy, but there's still mommy in there, right? Because I'm still there. And then after 15 minutes, I kind of shut it down for me. And then I'm present for 15 minutes. And my scale for being mommy is really high. And my
Yeah.
work's really low. And then I'll be like, okay, it's been 15 minutes. I'm going to go check and do the next thing on my list. And sometimes, like, I am a paper and pen kind of girl. I love paper and pen or pencil and paper. And so then I cross it off and then I'm like, okay, next thing. Cause it's the little things that drive you crazy. It's the little
Yeah.
like fill your brain and make all this noise. And so that's another one of the steps is how do you quiet the noise? How do you be a good parent yourself?
I have the answer, but you're not gonna like it. I have to take an Ambien to quiet the noise.
That's it. I'm talking about during the day.
Yeah, not during the day, but at nighttime. Yeah, you have to block yourself out. And like even working is so quiet in there. We can't have our phones there, which was like a music source too. But when you're doing 400 dials a day, it'd be nice to have like background music. If not, you're gonna just start singing by yourself, whether you're a good singer or a bad singer.
Well,
But yeah,
right?
do
Like,
what?
because you're happy. So it's like, I don't know, can you put one in one ear? Can you put
I
an iPad,
e
AirPod in one ear?
it's yeah, I would say you probably could. Um, the funniest thing for me, when I get on the phone with somebody, there's a different culture. Like, I have to use am I hearing them right? Let me make sure. Let's spell this out one by one. And I love my job, but it's learning that difference where I think, yeah, the music might be a little bit of distraction. Take the AirPod out just for that call. And then, there's funny things that always happen when you're in customer service, and I just tend to enjoy it. But I remember vaguely somebody wrote in and they called the office and they go, "Well, I need to order a pizza. I need a large, thick crust, pepperoni, and sausage." I go, "Like, can you deliver some to me too?" Wait, is this not the pizza place? No, 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 no. I do A, B, C, D, E, but I'm hungry too. But, it's just the funniest thing. And I think, I would love to do a show on customer service because I don't think people realize this. If somebody's calling you and they don't pick up and talk to you, you're a call the next couple hours or even day. Oh my gosh, it's harassment, right? Whatever. But you pick up and tell us, no, not interested. Thank you for reaching out. You're like 6 months pushed. Wow. Imagine that. Like,
Right.
it's nice just to hear somebody pick up the phone and can be like, oh, thank you for calling, but no. So, but, it's those little things we learn in life, right?
That's true. It's true. Yeah, that's so true. I know my line is you typically, well, I always listen to someone when they call, right? And usually it's like, oh, thanks for the opportunity, but that doesn't work for me right now. So
Yeah.
it's like, just be authentic, be who you need
Yeah.
to be, because there's still another human on the other end of the phone, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like to give grace or give someone some attention or give someone a positive thing, because if you're kind to that person on the phone, in front of the cash register, whatever it is, that's what you're surrounding your life with.
Yeah.
That's what you're.
Exactly.
So it's funny. I just read something recently about, um, like if you're having a bad day and you're filling your cup up with things and you run into somebody and your cup spills, what does it spill? Like what's in your cup? And it's not about like tea or coffee or scotch, right? It's more about how do you fill your life? So do you fill your life with positive affirmation and giving people the benefit of the doubt or grace, right? Is that what you fill your cup with? Or do you fill your cup with, you know, crankiness and despondency and not kindness? So it's like, I think about that. I'm like, when my cup spills, I want goodness to spill out of that. I
Yeah.
want love and appreciation and gratitude to spill from that cup. So this way, maybe someone will have that for me one day, right? Because it's really not hard. You just have to choose. Like you have to choose to be happy. You have to choose to be kind. And I really do believe it's a choice, right?
It
Like
is a choice.
when my kids were small, my husband traveled 100% of the time because we moved here and then his job stayed back east. So he only came in on the weekends. And I remember some of the girls, I had two small kids, like two under 5, and they were like, "Oh my God, how do you do it? How do you do it?" And I was like, "Well, what's my choice? I don't understand. You do it every day, step by step. You do it the best you can. Not that it's an excuse, right? But you do it. You just pull your big curl panties on.
Yep.
Maybe they're sexy under there so you feel good about yourself. And you do it. You take the next step. You just decide not to make the world pay for whatever the decisions are or the things that have happened to you or for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And even that, like sometimes I say, oh, the universe was working for me, even though my husband wasn't with me. My kids and I are like this. Oh my God, we're glue. Like, because I just proved time after time that it's what was right for me. Like, dad's not
Yeah.
around, loves you, but I'm here. And I was grateful for the situation. So, because I got to um, like stay with them and be present. I was very blessed that I didn't have to work a full-time job too, it makes life hard sometimes, but if you go,
Oh, yeah.
you know, not that we don't have sad moments. We all do. We're human.
It is, yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for my mom. I have to live with her now, but, you know, she helps me. I'm starting to get back on my feet, so I'm starting to pay for the room that I'm renting out for her, for me and my son, but she'll help me watch Liam at times. So I call it my mommy breaks, which are really karaoke days. But, when you are working full time, your kiddo is going to school, but the kid comes home and has sports. Or they're on the computer playing video games. That's their away time. Or I'm going fishing. Okay, there's nothing to do with me. And I'm going to just sit here and I'm going to twiddle my thumbs like, okay, you're still being a good parent. He's still having fun. But when I decide to have a mommy time, where are you going? Like, well, you got to do A, B, C, D, E. And mommy just wants like 3 hours,
Yeah,
please. But I just, I'm just grateful, as a single mom and he never met his father. I have to wear both hats.
yeah.
And yeah, I've learned a lot, it is very hard. I think one of the things that opened up was the football, and we had a really good coach, but he was also a father figure to my son. And then my best friend, her son, it's Liam's friend basically, but the father has taught him hunting and fishing and paintball. And I look at that going, he's learning another side of what's out there besides football and baseball and basketball. And, so I'm starting this new thing where it's going to be a family tradition and I'm going to rent a cabin. Now, here's the thing, has a fishing pond, right? So I'm catering to my son's needs, but there's a hot tub inside the cabin. So I'm catering to my needs too.
Exactly. There is a win-win. There can always be a win-win.
Yes, as long as there's coffee in the morning and a glass of wine at night, I am fine.
I love
But
it.
yeah, it's just go hiking, enjoy nature, and come back with the sense of I can do anything. I took time out for myself. I'm grateful for these things, and that's how I look at it. So,
Isn't that beautiful? It's so great. I love when
mhm.
you do that. And, I think, they say self-care and everyone's like, oh, I have to be like at a spa and pay like $1,000 a day or something crazy. And that's not really self-care. I mean, it can be, don't get me wrong, but then people put these limits on it. And self-care is really, like going fishing with your son or having
Yeah.
a cat you guys can be together in, or having breakfast with your mom and your son, right? Like self care are moments. They don't have to be like these extravagant adventures.
Oh,
Self
I
care
know.
day, you can self care, whatever that is. Like I love to read, but I have no time to read, right? You can tell, like I'm a book nerd. I like books, I like to listen to books, or I like to read books, but I wasn't having any time. So I I listen to books now. You can get them on Libby and do Audible books for free. And like, that's my self care. I could be chopping vegetables or driving somewhere or getting a haircut. But I can listen. And that's like this beautiful self care. Again,
Yeah.
perception, right? Scale of priority. When you're having a glass of wine at the end of the day, it's because you're caring. I know some people say, oh, you're not having a bottle of wine at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. You can be having a glass of wine. You could be having club soda, whatever you want.
Mm.
But the point is that it's a moment for you. It's a moment to
Yes.
collective, right? It's so
Yeah.
beautiful that you get to do that for yourself. I'm so proud of you, Nadine. It's not easy.
Just taking that moment out just to breathe. It's like, man, it could be a glass of milk with one cookie or you know what today's self-help is gonna be because of my throat being sore? I was like, Bahama book sounds pretty good. get ice in my throat. And it's so bad because I think my mom is making steaks. They look good, but when you feel sick, you're like, ugh, and I was like, I'm gonna try, but I'm probably gonna do the dishes and run out and go get that Bahama box. But
Eat
then
the mashed potatoes she makes. That'll be
do
smooth.
what?
Eat the mashed potatoes she makes with the steaks.
Oh, yes, and I definitely need to do that. So, but yesterday maybe that's how I got sick. I was at a kid's party and, they had a cafe place, but I was surprised. They had coffee, cappuccino. I'm like, "Oh, it's a kid's place," and then I saw strawberry banana smoothie, and I'm like, "Hmm, let me go for that." And it's funny because ever since my surgeries, I guess I was a snacker all the time. If people see me with a healthy drink, they are like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yes, are you okay?" I just like, I've never had a cappuccino until like 5 months ago. And I'm like, I really don't know what it's called, but I know there's like little cinnamon sprinkles and I like hazelnut and da 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 da. And I'm not trying to be a Karen about my drink or anything, but it's just, I don't know. Surprise me. Put something foam and cinnamon and maybe vanilla or hazelnut and I'll gonna try this. And I was like, oh wow, I'm in heaven.
But just opened a new coffee house yesterday. We went to their grand opening, and I had this drink I'd never had. It was chata. It was like a mushroom coffee, but it had shots of espresso in it. And I did the same thing. I'm like, they were like, it's cinnamon and chocolate and coffee and foam. And I was like, I'll try it. Yeah, it was delicious.
You gotta just get out there and try new things. They're opening a tea house right next to the house here. And I was like, tea. When I was younger, I'd be saying, oh, that's for old people. But now I guess I am old and I heard tea, but I don't know what kind. I think it has honey in it, but to keep from laryngitis,
Yeah.
because now doing a podcast and work, my voice is my job. And I'm like, if I don't have that, where am I? So, you know, I don't know, even singing karaoke, I'm like, where am I? So, but I always try to hold that mic far away when I sing. I don't want to have other people's germs on there.
Right. Go buy your own mic so you can click it in. And um, my son's a singer. And so there's this stuff, it's called throat coat, and it's a tea. Doesn't taste great. I'm not gonna lie to you, but well,
uh,
some people really like it. But yeah, you can have tea and have throat coat, and it'll help you with your voice when you're singing, when you're talking. If that's your life instrument, you have to take care of it, right?
Yeah, you definitely do. And it's just that's another thing, guys, of self-help, And the other thing you mentioned about self-care, people going out, doing things, I have changed that. Like as much as I want to go get my hair done, they charge me $200. I don't have extra 200 to get it fully dyed. So I decided to embrace the gray hair coming in.
There you
Don't be that person who is like, I gotta go. Yeah, I miss getting my nails done. But then I saw something on a reel and it's a dipping powder and it's like you put your own coats and it comes and I tried it and I liked it. But my biggest problem is when I have nail polish on, I think it's a game. How quickly can I get it off? So, yeah, it doesn't last. I'm not one of those girly girls.
oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so, but oh my gosh, but we gotta keep the laughter in life going too, right? We gotta laugh at our own fumbles, I've been told before I can talk about something, change subject, and one of my friend goes, "You have a squirrel moment." So now I call it the squirrel moment. And then yesterday, somebody is like, "I really don't understand. What are we talking about now?" And and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Another one thinks I'm having a squirrel moment. Who cares?
That's part of fun. It's all about the journey. I say it all the time. It's about the journey. Where are we going in the conversation and life? It's all about like where are we going? Where are things taking us? Because you can find some amazing things when the road just meets us. So I think it's fun.
Yeah,
I think it's fun.
yeah, exactly. So, I know the weekend's already up, but do you have future plans going into the fall? Christmas? Have you start Christmas shopping?
I have. I am that girl. When I see something special, I'll pick it up for someone. So yeah, it's so funny. I actually have like my shopping, my Christmas list. Look, it's right here. I swear.
Oh my goodness.
For things I've
See, I
already
knew
bought.
it.
What'd you say?
Where's my name? My name on there
I know.
yet? No kidding.
Wait, yes, of course it is. Let me put that down right now.
Just kidding. Oh my gosh. So, if you could have anything for Christmas, what are you going to ask for?
If I get anything for Christmas, really, I you get to a point in your life when you're like, oh my gosh, I have so much. So I think I'm really more about experiences. So I'd love to go on like a small vacation with my family, like my extended family, my parents, my brothers, my kids, and just spend like, I don't know, 5 or 6 days away just with us, like all on the
Yeah.
same, which is hard to get everybody on the same page. I just want to be all on the same page. And I'm a beach girl. Like I love the ocean. I love the ion.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, let's just run to Mexico for like 4 or 5 days, the whole family, play games until we're sick of it, and, you know, drink and coconut milk and have a great time, coconut juice and have a great water, coconut water. And
Oh, that's awesome.
that's all. That's what I think I really want. So I'm not sure what I'll get, but that's what I want. How about you?
It's just like, watch this episode, kids. You know what to get me. I already know what I really want, but I will never get it. And now I have to be like, if there is a potential person I do like, I will bring it up. But I've always wanted a pet tortoise.
Oh gosh, I have a girlfriend that has two. You have to will them to people because they won't.
Yes, I do. And I tried to talk to my brother about it. He's like, no. So, okay. But yeah, they're so cute. I've been doing some studying at night before falling asleep of how to take care of them. And I want to train my tortoise to walk down the aisle to be the ring bearer. And they make a little tuxedo. Yes, I was like, I want to be that person. But
Well,
I was watching, huh?
I was going to say, if there's not a business out there, you can at least do it with starting a business. They could be ring bearers for you, or they
You
could
may
leave
have to start them the day before to get to the end.
fast when they want it.
Feel- Yeah, there was a couple outdoor weddings I did. I was like, how cute. But people are hiring penguins because they're already in packs.
Oh, how cute
So
is
there's different things. I mean, the dove can't be the only thing. I mean, here I'm gonna open a cage and let a bird fly away, and
that?
I would want the dove back.
Exactly.
So,
I love it.
but definitely, yeah, there's just so many different things that I'm starting to see. Like when I'm driving down here, the leaves are already changing, and I'm like, "Ooh, pretty." But I've never been a fan of when they're all gone and it's just stick trees, and I'm like, "Eh, come on, spring." So,
Well, maybe when they have their jewelry on, when it's like ice. I love like it feels like jewelry, right? Think of it that way when it snows or you have an ice storm and the
what
trees
is
have.
that? I'm kidding. I'm like, "What is that? I live in Texas. What is this you're talking about?"
That's
But yes.
in me, I can't help it, right? I love fall, and yeah, that's how I get past the sticks is thinking of the jewelry with ice and
Nice. Yes.
rainfall.
That is so cool. I remember in Jersey seeing the icicles coming down, and when my grandfather was alive, he's like, "Nadine, you can always take an icicle off at the house and suck it. It's not gonna hurt you." And I was like, "Okay." But that he was so funny as a kid. I remember everything he taught me. You always wanna dust your room. It will make your mom happy. But the most funny or the pine needle in the mouth. "It's okay. These are like toothpicks." And then he goes, "You never wanna eat the yellow snow."
That's perfect advice.
Yes. So, yeah, I miss him. I wish I could have a one-on-one interview even though he's passed. I guess he talked about time travel or something before he left, and I was like, "How much did he know? Am I my grandfather's, like, real granddaughter here?" Like, I wish I could just talk to him and interview him again and see what he was learning and everything, so
Oh, fun.
but
No, that's kind of what I do, right?
yeah, I know, I know.
You never know.
So, like, you're still taking on clients for that, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Heaven's Light Wellness, they can sign up for an appointment right on the appointment app in the website, or you can send a message. We're on every single social media. So Heaven's Light Wellness. And then, we have the YouTube channel as well. So lots of ways to get in touch with me, to talk to your grandfather, your favorite human that's passed, or just your guardian angels to find out like what's the next step. How do I go about doing something? Am I on the path? Right? It's all those beautiful ways of giving you the opportunity to have your best life. It's this amazing gift that I am so honored to have, and I take really seriously. As much fun as I
Yeah.
like to have, the message part, the angel talk, the angel communication is something I take really seriously. It's so important because it's special. It's just special. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it
chokes.
is. And I love it, like, if you're not everybody gets in danger, but I went through something that I really don't talk about where knives were put in my face. I thought somebody was gonna hurt me. They said it was because God gave me the gift to have a podcast and help people. So, I had to get out of there. I said one thing wrong, like, "Let's talk about this," but then I changed my words, and if you were gonna do this, you would have done it by now. I'm getting out, and that's the only way I saved myself, but I felt like my angels were with me in that situation. And I always say, "Why am I seeing beautiful, like, North Stars by me?" And I just call it my angels. I had to. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank God for them too." But when I got out of this situation, I called the cops, and it's not a misdemeanor, eh? She has no bruises.
Oh
Really?
wow.
Seriously? Okay, so the next person? I feel bad for that, but, it's just, having your angels by you, knowing and going through services, I know I want to have one. I will pay you right now. Girl, where are you going? Oh,
I don't
you're
know.
like shrinking all down.
Great idea.
I was like, she's shrinking as I talk. Where's she going? Kidding. Okay, there she is. She's doing some aerobics. But yeah, I was saying I would pay you. I want to know because, I'm at a point, like I told you, this whole dating thing, I'm starting to really believe it's not for me. And, if somebody had advice for me, I would pay them to hear it. So,
I hear ya. Well, let's do that when I can key in and spend some time with you. And
yay. Yeah,
uh,
I'm definitely. Yeah, I'm game now because my life and my journey is going and going. But here I am trying to work on me, and find love. But then it turns into let's help everybody else find love. They were like, Nadine, you're doing it again. I was like, "Oh, sorry." And I think it's because I watched one movie called Perfectly Matched. And I was like, they call me Hitch already. This is what I do.
Ah,
Let's see if I got this. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe if there's a man out there in the world who understands, I do photography podcasts, football mom, my daughter just had a baby, blah, 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 school, work. Yeah. Do I have a little bit of time to date? Yes.
you know, if there is, uh, there are humans out there that understand that and can be compassionate and have, offer partnership and
Oh, yeah.
love matches and absolutely don't give up. Don't give up.
I know. Don't give up. Just help everybody else. Don't give up.
So focus on you for sure. So, but yeah, we'll have to have a follow-up conversation, then we can talk
Of
about it.
course. We're gonna do this, and I'm gonna remember it.
If not, you could record it. So this way you remember all the words. I always encourage people to record it. I'm like, let's record the session. So this way you can go back and listen if you have to. I have uh, a couple of clients and they give themselves a reading for their birthdays. So this, and then they write all the lists down and they check them off as they happen.
Mm.
Um, or someone who's like, okay, it's been 3 months. Okay, it's been 6 months. So we just keep checking in, making sure that they're listening to their angel whispers and they're on their path. So, it's a beautiful process to be able to do that. And then have faith
Okay.
in the most
Yeah,
important part.
have faith is very important. So, list out your website again so people can jump onto that.
Yeah, it's heavenslightwellness.com. So it's Heavens Light Wellness on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Heavens Light Wellness on the website. So yeah, we're just about everywhere. TikTok, I do angel card pulls. So I have
Oh,
decks of angel cards that are positive affirmation cards. So I pull those once a week. So this way people can get a positive message on what the angels are trying to help them with that week.
oh my gosh, that is so good.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm going on TikTok. I'm gonna go find you.
Like wellness.
I think it's so cool. My son is really trying to teach me TikTok. Like, I'm old, right? Huh. Yeah, obviously I am. He's like, "Mom, you hit over 1,000." He's like, "This means," and I'm like, "What does it mean?" And he's like, "You can go live." Live? Okay. So I did one of my shows and did the live, but I didn't have a holder. So I'm holding the whole live. And it's funny, I always take my glasses off. I'm getting new ones in a month or 2, but, like, even if somebody wrote in, I wouldn't be able to read it. And then I made it even more stupider because I didn't know how to turn it off.
Oh no.
It was like these simple things that I'm like, yeah, the life is gonna keep on going."
Of I always our kids are our tech. I'm like, okay, teach me what I'm supposed to know here. They always know more than we do, than I do
Of
anyway.
course. Yes, that's how it always works. So, but yeah. Well, my goodness, it was so fun talking to you again and everything. I'm trying to think if we're missing anything. Because this is just girls talk. You see,
Ah,
this is what I love making friends with my guest. You want to come back, you can come back. We're going to talk differently, of course. But it's all about that energy and the positive light and going towards it because we can go through so many rough times in life and whatever those are, honestly, you got to see that there's a bigger picture at the end and there is light at the end. Don't go backwards and backtrack or don't take a bottle to your mouth, try to wash it away. That's not what the challenge is there for. It's to find out who you are. And maybe your calling is calling you to find out how to help the world too. So,
Exactly, exactly. Remember,
yeah.
sometimes you, or I always say the universe is working in your favor. So sometimes things don't happen to you, but they happen for you. That's an interesting way to look at stuff.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that day right now. It did a couple of years ago, but I'm ready for it to do it again.
All right,
You hear that, universe?
manifest for Nadine. Here we go.
Yeah, definitely. So, but my goodness, our time is up, unfortunately, but I want to say thank you for coming back on the show. And I know I'll probably see you in another 3 to 4 months. So let's have some really awesome stories.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, hopefully the second book goes #1 international bestseller, and we have some
It
great
will.
on that. And maybe you'll be dating this awesome partner by then. You never know.
Who knows? Or maybe I'm just going to help the world find all these dates and oh, I paired them up and them and them. Oh, what about me? I see it now.
But
So, yeah, I'll figure it out.
well, I'm sure you'll do fabulous.
Thank you. I'm trying.
I had one word for you since you're the karaoke queen.
Oh my gosh, I am losing my voice at karaoke or just where I'm doing karaoke. It's it feels like a cul-de-sac, but it's funny. I was singing the other day and I thought I was getting congestion. And now here I'm sick. It's like, hey, and the mic and the ear. I was like, something's off. And here, yeah,
Here you
it's
go.
like my little warning sign before this cold.
Right. Well, I hope you feel better, better and
Well,
better,
thank you.
actually, and have some yummy old lady tea to feel better.
Well, it's gonna be the icy and then maybe the tea.
Okay.
But definitely. Well, it's so nice talking to you. Definitely let's get back when the book is coming out and get the book onto the storefront of Keep Hope Alive. And listen, I know this whole podcast, wherever you find them, and whether it's Apple, Spotify, Good Pods, I just got nominated out of Good Pods. Did you see that post?
I
I
did.
think I was 1 out of 50 podcasts to help people with mental health issues and stuff. And thank you. I was like, that made my day seeing that. I was like, I feel like I'm really helping with great, great guest speakers and stuff, and when people come back and they can quote something from one of my shows, I'm like, whoa, I'm blown away. So,
Awesome. Making a difference.
yep, making a difference, and that's what it's all about. So, well, I guess, guys, if you ever want to be a guest speaker or even be a sponsor on Keep Up Alive, let me know. You can always go to www.keephopealivepodcast.com. I even have a voicemail section. You can leave a voicemail for me there too. So, but other than that, until next time, love and light. Mwah.